YouTube channel, and I'm reaching out to all of you beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature somewhere, and not only that, is I hope you're trying to be that change that you want to see in this world. And we all need you, like I need you, and the people out there need you. Is as long as we're working on ourselves every day in so many different areas, and to send love out to the people out in the world, we together can be that change that we want to see in this world. So it starts with me, and it starts with all of you. So anyway, I hope you're all doing great. And if you're struggling, I pray that you will find the answers that you're looking for, so you can know what direction you want to take in this world. And I really truly love you. I'm always thinking about you, and I just pray that you get some help from this video, and thank you for liking and subscribing to my YouTube channel. And anyway, if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome. And also I want to just say thank you to everyone out there who does watch my videos and subscribe. You are very appreciative. And so anyway, let's jump right into this next video today. So anyway, today I want to reach out to all of you and ask you a question. Have you ever been hurt? Have you ever had somebody lie to you or deceive you or steal from you, or maybe they were jealous of you? Oh yeah, all of you, right? We all have been lied to at least, or cheated on. So there's so many things that, like the list can go on and on and on of how somebody could have done you wrong. But I don't want to name that list, because I could be literally here all day naming all the types of things that could have gone wrong in your life, by maybe your mom or dad or brothers or sisters, or your kids. Like it could be anybody, cousins, grandpa, grandma. Just because somebody has the title of being a grandma or a grandpa doesn't mean that they are incapable of hurting people. Absolutely not. Or even the title of being mom or dad, or children. Anybody is capable of hurting anyone at any given moment in this lifetime, or even hurting animals. So I know that all of you have been hurt one way or another, and we'll just say lied to, because we all have been lied to by somebody out there. Not everybody has been cheated on, which if you haven't been cheated on, I'm happy for you. So have you been lied to? And all of you are, yes, of course, everybody has been lied to, because we've been lied to from the very beginning in this world. We've been deceived. And I just made actually it's uploading now, is a video of The Truth Will Set You Free. Besides, the title is, Do You Want to Know the Truth? So, and that's why I kind of wanted to make this video after that video, is because this is so important. It's vitally important to watch this video. So after somebody has done you wrong, and like I said, it could be anyone. It could be your mom, your dad, your uncles, your aunts, your grandpa, grandma, your kids. It could be you thought was your best friend, or a loved one, or even somebody that you're interested into, like as far as relationship goes, or a wife or a husband, any kind of a stranger, anyone, acquaintances, it could be anyone in any part of the world. It could be, because race is an illusion, but it could be any race. We'll just say race, because that's what people are so used to. But even though we're all one family, it could be and this is what happens to so many people, is that certain people do certain things, and now, now they don't want anything to do with anybody else, because that one person did something wrong to them, so then they completely hate everybody, like, for example, what I'm trying to explain is, say if there's, we'll just say people of color and you got white people, we'll just say those two, is that sometimes, like, if a person that is a white, like I am white, is, if somebody of a person of color did me wrong, now, oh, I don't like any of you now because one has messed me up. Where, I have learned easily through my life, it doesn't matter what race. You can find flaws in all of us, right? We all have flaws in us, so there's no race that has arrived at all. So you don't want to judge on like, as far as skin color goes, because, we all came from the same source, and, like, where did you come from? Well, I came from the same place, not same mother, but, like, really all the way down through the, like the line, the creator, we all came from a creator, in the beginning, so not everybody believes that. So, we really can't judge each other by, even the outward appearance either, because there are some people that might look beautiful on the outside. It doesn't mean that they're never gonna lie to you or cheat on you or steal your money, so, we have been wronged by, not just one person in our life, many people in our life, and many reasons why we've been wronged. And a lot of it starts with, lies. I know it, if I went in the down row spiral or way back there in the past, I would have to say, there's so many different things, of hurt that we've gone through. So could you even think of the first wrong thing that somebody has done to you, like the very first thing? Some of it happens way back when you might have been inside the womb of your mother. Way back when, it could have started, in the womb of your own mom, so there are people out there that have been wronged, before they were even born. And others of you might have been wronged when you got out of your mother's womb. So no matter how far back this goes, when somebody has done you wrong, we have to keep our hearts right, no matter what they've done to you. And it could be from the littlest things to the biggest things that you can ever even imagine, that we really do. We have to keep our hearts right. And like I said, it could be your mom, it could be your dad or your brothers. Sorry, I have, in the mornings are the worst, and at night. I'm still clearing up from this cold. So, no matter who has done you wrong and what they've done, I have gone to church many years, even though I don't go to church anymore, is that I've learned to keep my heart right with other people. And is it easy? Absolutely not. And, whether you believe this or not, I made a video out there, is, the universe, God, does test us. And not only God tests us, sometimes other people will test you, and I believe that's it. I believe that's what Starlight is going through right now, is a big, huge test, where there are some people out there that will, that will test you just to see how you're going to respond. And you could be tested all the time. And it could feel like that. It could feel like an everyday thing. It's like, somebody might test you out in public. they might say an unkind word to you, and how are you going to respond back? You know, do you respond quick? Are you quick to say something with your tongue? You know, your tongue could be used as a sword, as a weapon. You know, what kind of things come out of your mouth when somebody does you wrong? Do you think before you speak, or do you just speak? You know, some people are really quick with their words, and they're very cutting, you know, and they might not have had time enough to actually sort out the matter first before they slipped of the tongue. So you do have to be careful of the words that do come out of your mouth, and what you say to somebody and how you respond back is so important in this world, is because it just might be a lesson for you. It might be a lesson to really not to be so quick to speak. You know, there's a lot of verses in the Bible about that, is, you know, it's best to stay silent sometimes, but then there's times that we do need to speak up and use our voice. You know, there's a time to speak up and there's time to be quiet. So, you know, it is amazing of the times that, you know, like, do you speak up when you should in life, or, you know, like, or maybe you should have said something where you were quiet. You got to really, you know, like, really think at the time, and what are you going to say to a person is really important. So sometimes, like with Starlight's not as quick as some people are out there. That I have met some people, they're really quick. They always have something to say, a quick comeback, and it could be a really good comeback. You know, where Starlight's normally has got to kind of analyze the whole thing and think about it before she wants to say something. But sometimes, you know, you might not have enough time to think about what you want to say, and later on you're like, oh, I should have said something, you know, and so you want to stand up for your rights, and you want to voice, you know, like, especially if somebody has done you wrong or said some unkind word, you know, but you want to keep your heart right. Don't let, you know, because God is going to test you, the universe is going to test you, people might test you to see how you're going to respond. You know, like, what is your heart attitude after, you know, like, it is good to voice what you need to say and stand up for your rights. But think before you speak, you know, because words are very powerful. You can really actually help somebody else out by, you know, voicing what you need to say, and let them know that you're not going to treat me this way. You know, let them know, you know, if they're being rude to you, or if they're being dishonest, let them know that you know that they're being dishonest, because they do need to hear that. They need to know that you're on to them. You know, so you don't want people run over top of you. You know, and then when it comes to, like, your relationships with your parents, isn't that a fun one? You know, where a lot of times, when, like, children, when they get older and become adults like me, you know, like, I'm an adult, I don't live with my mom and dad anymore, is that sometimes that we think that because we're the children, and even though you could be a child and your parents are, you know, you're not in your parents' house anymore, sometimes, you know, like, children as adults think that they can't voice anything with their parents because they're the mom and dad and you're the child. But in this sense is that you are an adult, right? You're not a child anymore. So just because you have a mom and a dad doesn't mean that you cannot use your voice towards your mom and dad. With that being said, is that you have to choose your words wisely when speaking to your parents, and depending on what kind of mom or dad you have. Not everyone have good parents. Not everyone has parents that have been educated and knowing how to handle things. And because we are in this matrix, is sometimes we are tested by our loved ones on how we're going to respond back to those people. So that's why it's so important that that you do use your voice, no matter if it's your mom or dad. Don't let your mom and dad run your life. You know, you are an adult, you're paying for your bills, I hope, right? So if you are on your own, even though they are your mom and dad, it doesn't mean that you can't ever disagree with them. You don't always have to agree with everything that comes out of your mom's mouth or your dad's. You know, they could be more than likely on an old program that is no longer working anymore. So they may never understand where you are because you are younger, but you're in a different time frame as what they were. You know, so everything changes as far as the way the world is running. So just because your mom and dad said something to you, it doesn't mean what they are saying is absolutely true. They might have been deceived and lied to themselves to believe that is a fact. And what I've learned in my life is I'm not an argumentative person, you know, so you don't want to argue with people. You know, you do want to use your voice, but you want to be wise on what you say and what comes out of your mouth. And you know, sometimes in life we have to, you know, like we do have to let some people go, whether it's your mom or dad or your children or, you know, your grandpa or grandma or even your boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife or even your best friend. You know, so sometimes we do. You might have disagreements that are, you know, where it's always an argument of who's right and who's wrong. And if you can't, you know, get along, you know, you might have to let that person go because you guys are on totally different, you know, like ways of living. And, you know, and it is tough. Sometimes we do. We have to let people go. But that doesn't mean that you never have to speak to them again. It just, you know, maybe you just might want to call them up, you know, on certain, you know, like on their birthday, wish them a happy birthday, or, you know, sometimes people struggle like with Father's Day or Mother's Day. Maybe that's not a day that you want to call up and say happy Father's Day or Mother's Day, because if they were horrible parents anyway, it's almost like, you know, like wishing a, you know, like it just is not, it's not always the greatest thing is when it's Mother's Day and Father's Day. You know, sometimes it's, maybe that's a day that you might not want to call them up, you know, because if they were horrible parents, it's almost like giving them a reward for being horrible to you, you know. So there's some people that definitely struggle with that holiday of Mother's Day and Father's Day. So you know, it, let them reach out to you. You know, letting go is not easy, and it is very tough. And they might try to call you up. They might want to leave you bad messages. You know, they might get upset with you because you're not responding back. And, you know, sometimes you might have to ignore them. And after a while, in time, that they will let, you know, they will eventually get tired of trying to leave you messages or calling and stuff like that. And you might have to do things like that because they're not for your greatest good. So other things is like relationships go is you know, like I said earlier, is sometimes you could be being tested. You know, somebody out there could be testing you, and they could do really horrible stuff to you or react a certain way just to test how you're going to respond. And that's why it's so important that you know how to respond in the right way. And because they might be testing you, hey, can I fully trust you? You know, like if, you know, like they might be testing you out as far as later on, maybe wanting to get married to you. And, but, you know, they want to see how you're going to respond now. So then they know if you're a safe person, to be with later on if they want to marry you or not. So that is can be very challenging if you're being tested, but there's nothing wrong with anybody testing you. The question is, can you pass the test? And time will tell. God definitely tests me a lot. Like I feel like it's an everyday thing is being tested. There's things that am I, like tested whether I'm going to do the right thing all the time. Am I going to do this or am I going to do that? You always got a kind of a choice between, kind of the right thing to do or the wrong, like where am I going to go with this? I could choose this direction, and it could be all kinds of different things, like what kind of job are you going to get? You could be tested on what kind of job are you going to get? Are you going to get the kind of job that you're not going to be satisfied with? Or are you going to get the kind of job that, is going to be more fulfilling? So you could be tested on all kinds of stuff. You could be tested on what kind of food you're going to eat, whether you drink or smoke, where you spend your money, who you give your money to, who you hold your money away, like who you hold back from, whether you accept somebody as a friend, whether you hang out with somebody or not. You could be being tested as far as the kind of people that you hang out with. Where do you spend your time? What do you spend your time doing every day? So the test goes on and on and on. You could be tested on the kind of music that you're listening to. You could be tested on what kind of things you're going to see with your eyes. What kind of things are you going to watch on the TV? There are, like the list goes on and on of how you can be being tested every day, for the rest of your life. So are you being tested, and how are you going to respond? Are you going to keep your heart right with when God tests you or when other people test you? Are you going to pass the test, or are you going to get upset and angry and make the wrong decisions? And then that wrong decision is going to bring you on a totally different path. It's a a whole bunch of lessons that you need to learn. And then you could go down that path that you think is the wrong path, and it's just there's lessons on that path that you need to learn, and it could end up bringing you on a you might want to go somewhere in life. You might have a heart's desire, but hey, like sometimes we might miss messages from the universe, or things might not be clear, where God is trying to help us out sometimes, and we might miss those messages because I did put videos out there of the universe and the archangels, how the universe communicates with us, is if you miss the messages or the signs that the universe is trying to show you, or you don't listen when the universe tells you something, it can really trip you up. And where the universe is trying to get your attention and have you to do something, and if you're not really paying attention or you miss that message, is sometimes the universe will force you to do things that like put you in situations where now you are forced, where the universe is trying to help you, but now your situation might not be so comfortable because the universe is actually trying to do a work because you were not able to receive the message that the universe was giving you, or you missed out on the opportunity that the universe had for you, because like a lot of times we can get distracted. So a lot of times we are being tested, and God is actually guiding us and helping us through different things. So you might get upset because of a situation that you're in right now, but it could be a test. It could be a lesson that you're learning right now at the very minute that I'm talking, and where God is trying to do a work in your life, and there might be lessons that you have to learn in order for you to get to where your heart's desire is. So life is challenging. I'm not going to say it's not. So you have to keep your heart right with people, because a lot of times behind the scene is God is doing a work, and you might not even be able to see that God is doing a work, and God is putting you through things in life to guide you to really what your heart's desire is. And what is your heart's desire? You know, a lot of people, it could be peace or love or money. You know, you know, money is very important, but I do have to say is that it's not the all. You know, I desire to have money in my life. I desire to have love in my life. I desire to be happy. I desire to have peace in this world. You know, so those are my heart's desire. I desire for this the kids to have a beautiful future ahead of them. You know, so what are your heart's desires? What are what you desire in life? So sometimes we're going to be challenged. We're going to, you know, maybe you have a heart's desire to fall in a higher love with somebody. Well, you know, God could challenge you. You desire that, well, you're going to have to go through some tests, you know, like to get that, you know. And, you know, like, so it is a big eye-opener is as far as what the universe can do with you. And like I said, sometimes the universe is going to, if you don't do the work yourself when the universe is trying to get you to do something, the universe could actually force you in a way, not in a way that you'd ever think, to get you through that process because you were not willing to make the change yourself. So, so you might be questioning what is the universe trying to show you, and it might take a while. You know, it's almost like you're going on some kind of ride, like at a park, you know, and wondering where is this taking you. You know, where it can be scary at times, not knowing what the universe is doing. But as long as you keep your heart right, and you don't want to fight against God or the universe, because that will be another lesson to learn, is you really want the universe to guide you through whatever it is that you're going through, and keep your heart right with the people around you, because sometimes, you know, God will use people. God will use anybody in your life, you know, like to test you out and see if you're going to use your voice. And, you know, are you going to be rude to other people because they're rude to you? You know, are you going to, you know, just because somebody out in public is being a jerk, you know, are you going to be a jerk back, or are you going to be a bitch, you know, and say the wrong thing to them? How are you going to respond? Sorry, I don't mean to laugh when I cough, but it does tickle. Yeah, so you know, so it is, life is challenging, and you can get through this. I believe that you can get through it, and I don't know what any of you guys or girls are going through right now. It could be a job, you know. You could be tested on the job that you're taking right now. Are you happy with that job, you know? Is your boss treating you kind? Is your boss treating you fair? Is your boss paying you the kind of money that you deserve to get paid? It could even be where you live. You know, some people rent, some people own. You know, you could be tested on where you live. Are you comfortable where you live? Should you move? Should you stay? You know, should you start all over? Starlight is definitely starting all over here. I'm like, all, you know, like, and that's, you know, like, there's reasons for everything, even though if I don't fully understand everything that the universe is showing me right now, is that I do understand that there's reasons for where I am and what I'm going through. It's, you know, I must have not have been doing something that the universe wanted me to do. So the universe will. The universe has full, you know, the universe can do whatever the universe, you can't stop God from making changes in your life. So you don't want to fight God or the universe on what you might be going through in life. you just have to ask the universe, what are you trying to show me in my situation, and the like I said, I made videos is are you searching for guidance is one of my first videos that I made on YouTube, and I know I was really new with YouTube at the time, so forgive me for how long-tongued I could get in the beginning of my videos. Is That's a very important video to understand how the universe guides you and shows you, like how the universe works. But you got to be right on top of the information, the dreams, and the numbers or symbols and stuff like that to get the information. And this has happened to Starlight so many times, and it can trip you up as if you're not looking up the numbers and if you're not doing the work that the universe, if God gives you a message, and sometimes this has happened to Starlight where I've gotten messages from the universe, but I thought it was me. I thought I was confused about the message. I didn't quite understand what the universe was telling me. Where you might ignore certain messages from the universe, and it could really trip you up. So you don't want to ignore the messages, the messenger gives you, because it could really mess up a lot of things in your life. But then here we go. It could be another lesson for you to learn, is that you got to really pay attention when the universe is speaking to you and giving you messages, either through a person, it could be through a YouTube video, it could be anybody at any moment in time, so it's really good to use these two ears and hear what is being said. I just asked a question earlier out loud where I am right now. I'm like, so I asked the universe a question, like about a twin flame question, and it was weird. Like I was sitting here and out of nowhere, a dish moved all by itself, It's like, is that an answer right there, where I felt like I got an answer from the universe. It's like, So it is something how the universe can actually, send messages to you in so many different ways through either animals or numbers, symbols, dreams, people. And you do have to pay attention to that, and you got to be right on top of it. You got to do your homework, because if you don't, or if you ignore the messages, and, it's like you're being blinded to really, you're out in the dark and you don't know where you're going. And you could wake up in a place that could, like you might think it's a dream anyway, like a nightmare, and you're like, how did I get here? Well, maybe you weren't really paying attention to what the universe was showing you. Maybe you ignored what the universe was trying to tell you, or maybe you were confused at what the universe was trying to show you. And a lot of times, if you don't get the message, the universe will repeat the message over and over again until you get it. So you do have to pay attention to when the universe is speaking to you and showing you signs or symbols or, different things. And it does take time to understand when the universe is speaking with you. But this message is really not so much about that. It's really about how do you respond, because you could be being tested by God or other people on how you're going to respond. Because some people, they've been wronged in the past and they don't want to be wronged again. So they could be just testing you out to just see how you're going to respond and how you're going to treat them. Are you going to, talk bad about them? Are you going to put them out in public, and on a display? And, so it is really important that you understand that sometimes you're being tested by either God or other people. And, you could test other people too. Don't be afraid to test other people out and see if they are being true to you. But really, it's so important to keep your heart right with other people and pray for those people. If somebody's done you wrong, don't hate them and despise them and wish them evil. Is that you want to keep your heart right with those people, pray for them. If you see that they need prayer, don't send like curses their way and talk bad behind their back and wish them all the evil in the world. And because you know what, it's only going to come back at you. Do good to those people. You don't have to hang out with them, but you got to keep your heart, pray for those, it says to pray for your enemies. I don't have any enemies. If anybody has a problem with me, it's not that I have a problem with them. It's that it's their problem. It's not my problem, so I don't have a problem with anybody else out there. Is because I do love everybody, even the people that don't love me, I love them. So, and that's the kind of attitude that you really want, and by being that way, that is what's going to bring peace out in the world. And that's the kind of peace that the people need, is that they need to be loved, and we need to understand that nobody's perfect, and nobody's always doing the right thing all the time. So you need to let go of anger, and jealousy and all that, and strife, and keep your heart right with those people, because that is a lesson that you got to learn, is if you're not keeping your heart right, and things are not going to get better for you if you're angry, and you're doing evil back to them, because it's all just going to bounce back at you. So I love you, and I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep my messages shorter, so I do love you, and you really want to keep your heart right. And don't forget with yourself. Keep your heart right with yourself. Forgive yourself. Love yourself. Don't beat yourself up when you don't always make the right choice. So I do love all of you. You can enjoy your day. Keep your heart right with people. Oops, sorry, it itch. Pray for those people. Send love out to those people, because they do. They need to get healed. They need to be loved, just like you do. So I do love all of you, and I hope you get a lot of help from this video. This is Starlight, love and light, peace.